I'm the Genius Asian. Welcome to the Genius family.
Our previous two videos discussed the fastest way to fall asleep. However, one can't fall asleep at any time at will. This video will resolve two problems: at what time we are more likely to fall asleep, and how to meet the necessary conditions for falling asleep. 2. How to stay asleep longer. So one problem is with the starting point of sleep, the other is achieving a longer sleep duration. We can see this in the 24-hour clock diagram. The clock's falling edge is our starting point, which is associated with circadian rhythm. To help us fall asleep faster, we also introduced the Z-loop, which is measured in seconds. Once you fall asleep, you start the 90-minute Ultradian Rhythms. The rising edge of the clock indicates your waking time in the morning, and you need to follow diurnal rhythm to mark the time and to calibrate your clocks so that the clock does not drift away. Finally, during daytime, following homeostatic sleep drive will help you to track sleep debt and sleep pressure and to create sleepiness. We will discuss some of these 5 clocks in detail in our video series. We will discuss the 5 clock subsystems in detail below to answer this question: when you have different problems, focusing on which clock is more effective. The first clock is the circadian rhythm. It is the master clock of the other 4 clocks, meaning all other clocks are in sync with this master clock. This one has the highest priority to be satisfied, and also, surprisingly, the solution requires the least effort. Most people have heard of circadian rhythms. They know it is a biological clock, but very few people actually know the details. In fact, those people who always complain about sleep deprivation may never have asked the following questions. 1. It is known that the 1-hour daylight savings time changes twice a year disrupt sleep. However, even knowing this, people who complain of sleep problems often do not make the effort to have a consistent time within the same hour every day to sleep. I would like to ask why. Why isn't it the same thing? Please leave comments below. 2. When you tried some tips or tricks in the past but these did not work, did you try to understand why they did not work? 3. Were you aware that the 2017 Nobel Prize for Medicine was awarded for circadian rhythm research? If you were, did you spend time trying to understand it? Why or why not? I hope the above questions can really make you question yourself and motivate you to finish watching my video about the details of circadian rhythm. I promise watching this video is a great investment that will benefit you for the rest of your life. You probably have seen this diagram of circadian rhythm for a 24-hour time period. This is our master clock. This is our main clock with a 24-hour clock period. The falling edge is the start of sleep time. The rising edge is the wake-up time. The 2017 Nobel Prize in Medicine was awarded for work on this main circadian clock. The findings help explain the internal daily cycles related to sleep and wake transitions. Specifically, they identified key clock genes and proteins that create autoregulatory feedback loops inside cells throughout the body. These molecular loops take approximately 24 hours to complete one cycle. A core loop involves the genes and proteins that regulate each other's activity in a cyclic manner. We will discuss how to set and regularize this main clock to have an exact 24 hours period later. Note that the circadian clock is an internal clock with a 24-hour period. These rhythms free run and maintain their innate cycles even in constant darkness, without external light-dark cues. However, if you spend several days in darkness, you may drift and add half an hour per day. Exposure to blue light helps to reset and synchronize the circadian clock with the external environment. This prevents free-running drift, ensuring our internal clock stays precisely aligned with the 24-hour day. The Nobel Prize announcement used the term exquisite precision to describe this master clock, which means clock timing is quite accurate. Once you remove blue light, your hormone levels for sure will change. Many times I go to bed 1 hour later than usual, but I feel the greatest effect twice a year when the change to or from daylight savings time occurs. Why is that? This is because even though the timing of the master clock is very precise, its effects still have limits. Most adults feel the sleepiest between 2 to 4 a.m. and also 1 to 3 p.m. Thus, although the timing is precise, the effect may not be strong enough to put you to sleep. But when the daylight savings time's 1-hour change occurs, all 5 clocks are also shifted, making a much stronger effect on your level of sleepiness. This is the reason we will look at subclocks, to have a stronger combined effect. Discussing the limit of this effect does not mean that we undermine its importance. The circadian clock is a necessary condition, but not a sufficient condition, meaning you have to satisfy this condition, but only satisfying it does not guarantee that you fall asleep. Understanding other factors, such as subclocks, helps to make the condition sufficient. So what can we do to improve our sleep? A. Trying to control the light exposure, as well as keeping the same light exposure timing every day. B. Go to bed at the same time that will be in sync with the light exposure every day. C. Share this video with the people you live with so that they respect your precise sleep schedule and because they may be generating external sensory signals that prevent you from falling asleep. Since all signals will reach the brain, if one of them fires up, it may trigger your sympathetic nervous system. We tried to distinguish external factors and internal ones. We just learned that the circadian clock starts when blue light is removed. Thus you may wonder what makes you wake up if you are in a dark room. This is largely because the circadian clock is an internal clock. It will run regardless of light. We discussed that external factors such as removing blue light can help you solve the problem of clock drifting. The same reason we can introduce blue light after you wake up, so that your clock is tuned well and strong. We will discuss this in diurnal rhythm in our next video. In the context of sleep, while diurnal rhythm focuses on the daytime, our next topic in this video focuses on the night, which is the Ultradian rhythms. Unlike the circadian clock period, which is defined as 24 hours, Ultradian rhythms refer to cycles with a period shorter than a day, but longer than an hour. This is a general dictionary definition, but with reference to sleep, this term specifically refers to the 90 to 120-minute cycling of sleep stages during the night. This clock starts from the falling edge of the circadian master clock and goes through multiple cycles of NREM1, NREM2, NREM3, and REM. Here I am wired to have a polysomnogram to learn how I fall asleep. Polysomnography records the EEG, ECG, EMG, the oxygen level in my blood, and breathing during sleep. With data from the overnight study, doctors can find the problems during sleep. For example, if the oxygen level is too low and it wakes you up, you can use a CPAP machine to get more oxygen at night. Compared with the overnight in-lab sleep studies, which give a thorough assessment of sleep issues, the at-home sleep apnea test doesn't completely confirm or rule out apnea. But after the results are reviewed by a sleep technologist, your physician might recommend an in-lab study to confirm or to explore other sleep issues. You may wake up at any stage during the cycle. The best time to wake up is at the beginning of a new sleep cycle because you are in a lighter sleep. If you awaken in the last NREM stage or the REM phase, this could cause you to feel disoriented or groggy. The reason for this is that NREM3 is a deep sleep, while REM is when dreaming occurs. In other words, if you woke up having vivid dreams, it is more likely you woke up in REM stage. It's natural to wake up a few times in the night after the REM stage. Most of the time, you won't even remember waking up at all. If we focus on the problem of waking up early, we can find many factors that contribute to waking up and not being able to sleep again. Circadian rhythm is certainly one factor. If this master clock is not tuned well, it will mess up the derived clock. Obviously, another factor is light. Light will wake you up, which is an external factor that belongs to our next video, diurnal rhythm. But homeostatic sleep drive, which will be explained in our future video, has the strongest connection to waking up early. Please check out other related videos.
Share this with people who you know that need it. Leave your own genius tips in the comment section below. Don't forget, I'm the Genius Asian. Subscribe for more useful videos.